Mm-hmm. 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 Yo, what's going on? It's your man Cowboy Cam, live with you here on the Cowboy Cam Facebook page and the Flex Network Facebook page and YouTube channel, baby. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Like my buddy Chris said, we out here. We out here. As you see, I am out and about right now. I'm currently at the doctor's office waiting to find out if we are having a cowboy or a cowgirl, basically. So basically, you might end up hearing a gender reveal here shortly. Uh, so hey, appreciate y'all tuning in. All right. I did a lot of posting last night from my personal Facebook page. I was like, there's so the report's out. A report that Dak Prescott basically he wants money right behind Patrick Mahomes. And it's kind of funny because fans seeing Patrick Mahomes' name and just went crazy. They're How you gonna want Patrick Mahomes money? How you gonna want Patrick Mahomes money? You ain't did what Patrick Mahomes done did. You don't deserve that. Yeah. That's all we heard. Meanwhile, the report says Dak he wants less than Patrick Mahomes. So why are you upset? Like you're making statements for no reason. If he want, and little man's back there right now, you're making statements for no reason. If he wants less than Patrick Mahomes, then he doesn't want Patrick Mahomes' money. Mind you, guys, I've been saying Patrick Mahomes' contract isn't all of that. Like nobody wants Patrick Mahomes' contract. Like you don't want that contract. That's a lot of years. Basically, the Chiefs get to restructure that however they want to restructure it. It's not a really super great contract. Hey, look, Corbin said, "What up?" Say, "Hey, Corbin." Say, "Hey, Corbin." He smiled a little bit. He's trying to act like he's in a bad mood, but he's not. And so yeah, Dak wanting less than Patrick Mahomes is is what you Corbin. Hell yeah, I want that contract if I'm signing an extension. If I got years left on my contract deal and I'm signing that extension, yeah, for sure, give me that Patrick Mahomes contract. But Dak doesn't want that. Dak is now in the Kirk Cousins playing field, which Kirk Cousins basically has been the highest paid NFL player since being in the NFL. I want my short-term deals. I want my money up front, and I'm going to hit the market again real soon, no matter if you're paying me or another team is paying me. So that's you know these contracts such as Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, these guys are signing extensions. Basically, they're getting extended before they hit the free agency market, before there's a franchise tag on the table. So Dak didn't have an extension. Dak played all the way until his fourth year, where he only got paid $2 million, and then he's hitting franchise tags and things of that nature. So you Dak's contract is going to be different than a lot of these other guys' contracts. This is why I've been saying years ago, pay him. It's kind of funny. We got to put this into perspective. Um, Years ago, I was like, hey, sign Dak and pay him 20. I was like, pay Dak 25 million. And people were like, oh, Dak's not worth 25 million. He's worth 20 million. And then the next year I was like, all right, pay Dak 28 million. Get him signed. Get him signed for $28 million. And people were like, oh, he ain't worth 28 million. He's worth 25 million. And I'm like, y'all are behind. Like you guys are behind. And then I was like, all right, pay Dak the 37. Then this was after Jared Goff and I got their contracts. I was like, all right, pay Dak the 35. Pay him 35 million, 35 to 37. Either one of those digits, pay him. And people were like, no. He's only worth 33. He's worth what Carson Wentz and Jared Goff signed for. And I was like, no, you're still behind. And the Cowboys basically are still behind. And now it's kind of funny though. Once again, this report came out that he wants less than Patrick Mahomes, and I think people are like, "Oh, he wants $44 million in since Mahomes is worth $45 million." And I'm like, "Well, no, that can get signed for $41 million, and that's more than Deshaun Watson, and still way less than Patrick Mahomes. Still way less." Sorry, my notifications going up. Um, but once again, this isn't a report from Dak Prescott's camp. Dak and his camp haven't said a word. So once again, this is obviously coming from the Jones family. The Jones family, because Dak is basically winning. He's winning the court of appeal to the public. All right, because he hasn't said a word. Dak Prescott and his agent have their number, and it hasn't been released. We have no idea what Dak Prescott wants. But we know that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have basically tried to manipulate everything and put out information about Dak to make fans go, "Oh, Dak's being greedy. Dak doesn't deserve this or that." It's kind of funny. The second surgery wasn't released by Dak Prescott's camp. It was released by the Jones family camp. They weren't planning on saying, "Oh, Dak had a second surgery," which was done in December. It got released in like February that, "Oh, Dak had a second surgery." And people were like, oh no, Dak had a second surgery, and thought of it like as if it would recently happen. And that wasn't the case. That wasn't put out there by Dak Prescott's camp. It was put out there by the Jones family. So this news about, oh, he wants the Mahomes, like a little less than Mahomes. Well, that's, of course he wants a little less than Mahomes. For those who watch my videos and follow the channel, know I've already done a video about getting Dak a $41.5 million contract, and his cap hit being like $17 million. I've done that video already. So yeah, of course it's going to be less than Mahomes, and it'll be the second highest paid contract in the NFL. It's like the news report makes no sense. But also then, if I'm going to use that news report, then I'm going to use this. Contract talks have been progressing between Dak's agent and the Jones family. Like, they're negotiating and moving along just fine. There's no report of what numbers out there, what's on the table. There hasn't been an offer made, but they're talking. So that's what you want to hear. Let me get to some of these comments real quick. Dak wants, I think we all should be more mad at his agent. Let's be real. Dak wants to be a Cowboy. Facts, Corbin, facts. But I gotta say this. Hey, Corbin, and guys, I play with Corbin. Corbin's a hell of a quarterback. Corbin, if I'm your agent, I'm going to make sure I get you the best deal possible. That's Dak's agent's job, is to get as much money as possible. What's going on with you, Clifton? Hey, it's good to hear from you, brother. Matt saying I'm having a quinceañera. Hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. And what's going on with you, Eric? We know the floor is $40 million. Yeah, like the floor is $40 million. Like that's where we're coming in at, $40 million. And I think if I'm Dak's agent, I'm taking that news reported $41.5 million offer. Like, there was a former agent who came out and said, this is the contract that Dak should want. They should try to get this contract signed. And if that's the case, I'm signing that. That's lovely. $41.5 million, fully guaranteed, basically, for a 3-year deal at that. I'm signing that. Put that on the table. I'm gonna sign that all day. And so basically, I wanted to let you guys know this. So the NFLPA, they've come out and basically said that the Dallas Cowboys are one of the cheapest teams in signing players. It's kind of fun. It's hilarious. We're one of the cheapest teams. We're really cheap. Basically, I think they use the Colts as an example. The Colts basically have spent like $40 million on quarterbacks. I think they had Jacoby Brissett at $20 million and Phillip Rivers at $25 million. Basically, both of them together combined, that quarterback room was making $40 million. On average, the Cowboys have basically paid, over the past 4 years, have paid $6 million to their quarterbacks. We basically paid $6 million to our quarterbacks. Now, Dak did get the franchise tag last year, which was $31 million. So if you want to take that into account, basically we spent, what is that, $37 million wise in 5 years. We're saying the Colts have spent that 4 years, $40 million. We spent 5 years basically $37 million. And basically NFLPA is saying without us even paying our quarterback, we're one of the cheapest franchises. Like, we don't spend money in free agency with Dak. With Dak even on a rookie deal, we haven't spent money in free agency, and hell, even then we spent $25 million, but we signed the wrong players for $25 million. That's what we get for being cheap. We spent $25 million in free agency just last season, and none of those guys worked out. None of them, and that's what we get for being cheap. And so basically, this may end up helping the Dallas Cowboys, because there's a news source out there, a head coach is saying that with the cap basically staying the same, like it's going to be at minimum $180 million, a lot of players are going to get cut. We've already seen Kyle Van Noy get cut. So a lot of these mid-level guys that get paid mid-level money are going to end up getting cut. And this is why I'm screaming, get Dak signed. That way we can figure out if we're restructuring contracts, if we're cutting some of our guys, some of our mid-level guys. They've already said they're not going to cut James Smith, but I don't believe if Kyle Van Noy can get cut, then for sure, if we have to, Jalen Smith can get cut. Now, I'm not throwing that out there. I'm just saying, if Kyle Van Noy, who I believe is a better linebacker than Jalen Smith, can get cut, then Jalen Smith for sure can be on the chopping block. And so we really have to get Dak Prescott signed so we can see what we're working with, so we can actually attack some of these free agents. Corbin Stingle, oh, man. Hey, you have a good day too, man. People freaking out because they think Dak is no, Dak's not asking for Patrick Mahomes' money. And I hate the report, because anytime Patrick Mahomes gets mentioned, people go crazy. We all know Patrick Mahomes is a talented quarterback, one of the best in the NFL. And anytime you see his name in a news article compared to another quarterback, people just go crazy. What's going on with you, Joseph? Can we get Russell Wilson? No, and I don't want Russell Wilson. Let me say this first. I don't want Russell Wilson. But then to answer your question, no, we can't get Russell Wilson. You'd have to give up too much to get Russell Wilson. And if you said the Dallas Cowboys have holes in the team, it would make no sense to give up 3 first-round draft picks. You'd have to let Dak walk for free, because Dak's not going to sign a tag to go to Seattle, because Dak's going to hit free agency next year anyway. So Dak wouldn't do you a favor. And so, no, like getting Russell Wilson's like basically off the table. And I don't want him. I don't want Russell Wilson. Chris here. Just hurry up and sign him. All this mess could be avoided. The Jones fam could get their head out their booty hole. Basically, hey, Chris is agreeing. Hey, Chris, Lucas is agreeing with you. Just get your head out your butt, sign Dak, and let's get this thing rolling. Let's get these guys signed. Let's see who we can get in free agency. Because if you're able to get free agents, it affects what you do in the draft. Especially if you sign a safety. Especially if you sign a safety in free agency, you don't have to necessarily draft a corner first round. You don't have to reach for a position. Like, you can go best player available in the draft, in which the name Kyle Pitts is getting thrown around. If you don't know who Kyle Pitts is, basically he's the best tight end in the draft, and he'll be your best receiver on your team. If you have a bad receiving core, I'm not talking about the Cowboys. If you have a bad receiving core, Kyle Pitts will basically be your best receiver. Kyle Pitts is a baller. His name is getting mentioned right now on ESPN, guys. The hype is real. Kyle Pitts is a damn good player. And he's one of the guys that can fall to you at 10, depending on how this draft goes, in which a lot of people are like, we don't need tight end. Well, if I take Kyle Pitts, then maybe I can trade Michael Gallup for some draft picks, unless you're planning on bringing Michael Gallup. These are things we don't know. Unless you're planning on bringing Michael Gallup back, that, you can take Kyle Pitts. Now you have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Kyle Pitts. Just saying. What's going on with you, Eric? Pop up there. And pay running back 2 years early, a bum knee linebacker, a disappearing edge guy. Boy, Eric, you are on it, dog. I love it. And hey, this is the hole that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have dug themselves. You paid You paid everybody. And once again, this is for the fans out there who are like, oh, we need to fill holes. We can't afford to pay Dak. Well, you paid everybody. You've paid your offensive line. You've paid your linebacker core. You've paid your running back. You've paid your receiver core. You've paid everybody. There's nobody left on your team that you necessarily have to pay a lot of money to. So I just want to kill that rumor, that terrible rumor there. Guys, I think we're having a boy. My wife just sent me some sad faces. She wants a girl. I believe we're having a boy. We shall see. I'm not sure yet. So I want to go ahead and end this video here. I'll do a post for all my friends on here. I'll do a post on the Cowboy Cam page if we're having a boy or girl. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Corbin, Chris, Eric, Joseph. It's good to talk to you guys in the group. And Clifton and Matt, it's good to talk to y'all in the comment section. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, that's been all my time. Cowboy Cam is out. Peace.